And we are live, ladies
I'm
and
not
gentlemen.
crying. I just have the sniffles, everybody. I just want to make sure you know.
Kristen, we may be on time for the last show. I mean, we're here. That's
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we're
If
all
some
here
people
before
didn't
8:30.
start on time.
Will we start actually doing the podcast? Hey, everybody in the chat right now. How many of you actually listened to the audio version of this show?
I mean, once you see it live,
Yeah, it's like watching sausage being made, or watching a bill being passed.
Yeah, real talk. What's funny in like skateboarding videos? Like, I don't know if the general public understands, like, when you see like this badass trick in a skateboarding video, somebody spent about 3 hours trying to land it. And what's more interesting than what they call the video part, like the official video part, is the uncut version of the video part that's 5 times longer, that just slam after slam after slam.
So we should be
That's
looking
what
for
this is.
We should be looking for stitches on the faces of those guys doing those tricks, right?
Oh my god. Yeah. Anybody who tells you, "Oh, I've been skateboarding forever, I never fall," is somebody that needs to
You're not
progress.
trying hard. If you're not falling,
Yeah.
you're not trying hard
you gotta
enough.
progress more is what you need to do.
it is full
That's
tonight.
what-
Brad,
that's-
Kristen, Stub, Jim,
Whoa, Scott Lubbs, hello.
JBB,
Hey,
Scott
bud.
Lubbs, Laura, Rhett joined. It's
Is
full.
Stub in there? A bunch of people are yelling Stub. I didn't see
Stubbs in there. Well, I'm sorry.
Where are you,
Cork-
Jason
Cork
Stubblefield?
Envy's on.
Oh yeah, same difference. Hey,
Kristen's on. Holy cow. Lori's
stayed
on.
up late. Hello, Lori. Thank
We
you.
apparently we should have ended this shit a long time ago.
Yeah, that's how you get people to watch.
Okay. So this is like the reunion tour,
Yeah,
like
oh,
Kiss or whatever.
man. My Facebook feed's blowing up right now. All 5 of my friends liked.
All right, so we're just gonna talk about whatever. I guess it's close. I guess we don't
Yeah.
need Halloween colors here.
Oh no, keep them on.
You wanna
Keep
go-
them on.
All right, fuck it.
How else are you going to claim that on your taxes this year, Jeff?
This is true. This is very true. Very true.
All right.
All right. Yeah, sorry, John. No record scratch available.
We'll
for the
just
show.
bring everybody on and get all like 15 people to go.
All right. Any let's see. That's the best opening, Jeff Solomon.
Oh, you like that?
Yeah.
Cool.
That's right.
Mhm. See, what I
So-
do, everybody, is I
Yeah.
punch up the show notes.
Let us know. It looks like some of you are letting us know what you're drinking.
Oh my
JVB's
god!
going big. Solomon's going big. It's a party.
Oh. If this part right here only made it into the audio version that drops every Friday, hey, subscribe on Apple Podcast. I think we would have way fewer weekly downloads. I don't know. It's like they don't understand.
Fluffed marshmallow vodka.
Ooh, ugh, ugh. Red, I used to respect you. Scott with the homebrew.
Nice.
Scott did some wine this year too.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. All right. Well, Teddy Topper. Nicely done, Brad. What was that?
That was Peta.
Oh my god.
She must have got some kibble stuck there.
Yeah, are you well versed in the
You can't Heimlich a dog.
animal Heimlich?
I have
can't
Heimlich a dog
Heimlich a
before.
dog.
It's
I have
a
Heimlich a dog.
swift kick. It doesn't look good, but it's effective.
Laura breaking out the Barolo.
Yeah.
Loves is pouring some cab. Nice.
There you go.
Guys, anything before we kick this thing off?
Oh man. Are we ready?
Am I ready?
I am always ready. I have been ready since first call. Roll.
At the sound of the tone, the official "We Like Drinking" time will be 5 o'clock. Commence consumption.
This week on episode 300 and motherfucking 50 of the We Like Drinking podcast, we'll be discussing, you know what? Fuck it. It's our last episode and we're going to talk about whatever the fuck we want. And if you got a problem with that, quit listening to the show, dummy. So crack open that beer, uncork that wine, and let's get Yeah. I gotta say, I think what shocks me the most about this being our final episode and this being episode 350, in all the almost 7 years of doing this show, that opening music still gets me pumped up.
Yeah.
It still gets me ready to go.
It's so weird too. Like it's the total. Here's what's great, and I think I've mentioned this on the show before. That's like that. What they call that royalty free music. Like
Yes.
you go and you Google that. You probably picked like rock and roll or something like that, and it had to have been near the top of the list because to this day, there's this really shitty skateboarder on YouTube, and his ending credits are that exact same song. And I love it so much. I love it so much. I think what I need is what we should have done is we should have got the rights to Nina by the Big Hurt from from One Bourbon, One Charter, One Beer. That's actually my favorite.
I'm thinking is it would be kind of cool if when I went into the brewery in the morning and I flipped on the lights that music came up as I'm starting my day.
Yeah,
that would be pretty neat. Well, why not all three?
By the way,
Jason.
Eccles, can you maybe drop that in the show notes at welikedrinking.com/show? Like
episode.
The link to that royalty-free music?
Yeah. Sure, I can do that.
Because I think that's what everybody really wants.
I think that's why everybody listened to this show.
And if we bought exclusive rights to that, that could be our NFT. Like people walk around like, I really miss that podcast. And all of a sudden they look at their phone, they open up their like shitty locker, and there's like my head turned 360 degrees to that song.
And spitting out pea soup.
Yeah. And doing all sorts of other things directly from The Exorcist.
Folks, get used to it because this show is really, I don't care about format. I don't care about
Hold up,
time.
I got my Ouija board in or so. Okay.
We're going to do whatever we want. But I will start the show by saying cheers, my podcast drinking friends, and welcome to Happy Hour 350 of your favorite award-winning topical beer and wine education podcast focusing on fun. We have had a lot of it, so make sure you never miss another episode. Wait, you can't, because there aren't any more, of our fan of drinking fun by visiting welikedrinking.com/subscribe. There's really no point in doing that anymore.
No, go back. Start at
Start at
episode 1.
I
say you never know. Every once in a while we might drop something new. So just, listen to an old one, just fresh from, whatever. Maybe by the time you get through 350 again, maybe you'll see a 351 sitting there.
Ooh. The chat is loaded tonight. Dozen of people out there joining in on the fun. Everybody's throwing out what they're drinking. We've already lost control of the chat. They're not even paying attention to the show. They're just having fun with each other, which is exactly what we expect. But let's find out who we're drinking with, in case you don't know, and then we'll talk through a little bit about what we're drinking. We're joined by our usual panel members. We have our California Sustainable Wine Growing Ambassador and recovering wine blogger, Jeff Solomon.
Hey, shalom, everybody.
I guess recovering wine podcaster.
Wine podcaster, too.
Our commercial brewer and snake wrangler, John Riak.
Hey, everybody.
And I am your host and certified specialist of wine, Jeff Eccles. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is our last episode of the We Like Drinking podcast on any kind of regular basis. Who knows? We may get some wild hairs every now and then and throw up an episode.
Wait, this is the last one? This is the last one, and still nobody has told me what the fuck it meant when everyone said penultimate last week.
That's right. That's right.
This show is ending, and I'll never understand what penultimate means.
Isn't that what you're drinking tonight?
You're right.
Let's go through it though. Let's see, guys. I almost went back and see and to hear what we drank on the first episode, but I didn't.
I actually did, by the way. I can tell you. I listened to it on the way home today.
How was it?
Oh man. The fact that anybody stuck around for this long. Like, I used to do that joke, like Michael Jackson, Lisa Marie Presley, like, and you think we'd never last. Like, I swear to you, you go back and listen to that first episode, like, it's cringy. It's ow. And I swear there was a point where Eccles, in the middle of the show, you went, yeah, we got to learn how to do this better.
Kristen in the chat said that everybody should go back and listen to the story about the bull. No.
I do that at your own. Yeah.
If Kristen, if you could drop whatever episode that is, I'm sure everybody
will 15 or something.
Will come back and curse you out later in this chat. This is gonna be one of those things like, the very last episode of Wine Library TV. That chat went on for 9 months.
Yes, it did.
That will be this.
Yes, all ones of the comments.
Yes.
All right, let's get to it. John Ruyak.
So, my wife and I have been saving this Gruet Rosé extended tirage for a while. We're club members, so we get 6 bottles 4 times a year, something like that. We got this about 2 shipments ago, and I threw it in the fridge yesterday, and I dig this. There's, a lot of toasty and kind of yeasty flavors out of this. She's drinking a glass while talking to her buddy up in Colorado Springs. So we clinked to our last episode. The fact that, she won't be yelling at me through the door to be quiet. I'm trying to sleep. So, it's just like kind of fresh baked bread and strawberries and just a glass or a bottle of yum. It's going to be a bottle of yum this evening. A bottle minus a glass that I gave her. Yeah.
Excellent. Jeff Solomon.
Well,
I just want to know, did you go Montebello?
No.
Oh, okay.
Because I don't care about you fucks. You know what I did is I actually picked out 2 drinks. I've got one now and one for later, but I'll talk about them both. And really, this is my homage to y'all, right? Because more than anything else, like, what does podcasting get you? It doesn't get you money, that's for sure. But what podcasting does get you is it gets you a community, and it builds friendships, and it strengthens bonds, right? um and you know through the internets, I've known Jeff Eccles just a little bit longer than John Ruyak, and the first thing that I'm drinking was it was making me think about Jeff Eccles, like when Jeff Eccles and I first like really had a conversation via Twitter. And I don't even know if Eccles remembers this, but like, we used to do wine tasting videos. It was kind of like we would comment on each other's videos. And I remember Eccles talking about how, in a blind tasting, the thing that he always looks for to know whether or not it's a Merlot that might be mistaken for a cab is he looks for a little bit of black olive there on the palate. And sure enough, with this Merlot that I have right here in this big ass glass right here, there's definitely some black olive in there. This is the Armitage 2018 Santa Cruz Mountains Foul Play Vineyard Merlot. And I just picked this up at the New Leaf Market, way up in the fancy schmancy hills of San Jose, on my way home today. This is a fantastic Merlot. It's drinking great. It was like $24, which is like, for what it's worth, that's a sweet spot. Like, even in a grocery store, it's a goddamn sweet spot, right? And then for later, and I'll make sure that I give you tasting notes on this one too. My goodness, I cannot help but go back to our very first episode where we all collectively tasted one type of beverage together. We got all edumacated on it. And to this day, one of my favorite episodes, I don't know. Maybe it was episode 50. Maybe it was episode 100. I think download them all, play through them all. Eventually you'll get to it. John Ruyak really expanded my beer horizons and knowledge with our episode on Russian Imperial Stouts. And I just had to go with the big daddy, the granddaddy. I'm talking about North Coast Brewing's Old Rasputin.
Nice.
It's a GD bomber. I'm not going to drink the whole thing tonight. I got to work tomorrow, but I just could not close out this whole whatever the hell this thing is without bringing in some Russian Imperial Stout from the homie John. So yeah, I love y'all. That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about.
That's awesome, man. I thought you were going to pull out, which was it, Arrogant Bastard that went with Arrogant Bastard 2.0? What was
that was Stone 2.0.
Stone Pale Ale 2.0. I don't even think you can find any Stone Pale Ale anymore.
They're a lager house now.
Flagship beer, wasn't that their whole thing? This is our flagship. Hey, leave us in the chat, everybody. When's the last time you've ever had a Stone Pale Ale?
2.0.
2.0? It's like fucking new Coke, right?
I do have to read off. Stub, old Cork Envy, put in F you and your community and friendship, Solomon. I'm not crying. You're crying.
I'm not crying. I have the sniffles, everybody. Sorry about that.
I was thinking you were going to break out the last bottle of Chateau Courier.
Yeah. I don't even know if I have any, but you know what? Things get crazy. I might go try to
everybody
dig through the old cabinet.
Needs a session Merlot in their life.
I've got a bottle. I've got a bottle still.
Dude, if you open it up on air and it doesn't smoke, I think it's a win for everyone.
But JV brings up a good point about that wine, Jeff Solomon. He wants to know.
The wine is the wine hazy. This is super, super dense. That's for sure. It's tough to tell from your angle. I mean, it's translucent, my bra. There's not much on the bottle. The only thing I know is that it's made with 100% love, which, in the Santa Cruz Mountains could mean all sorts of shit, right? Yeah. This might be some weird cults that I'm supporting right now. I apologize.
Kristen says that we were the only ones to drink 2.0.
That's true.
They sold 3 6-packs.
We put Stone out of business.
Meanwhile, in the chat, there's literally plans for a cruise being planned, possibly to Paso, and Lori may be putting everybody up if we all go there. There's some stuff
I can
happening.
sleep on a cot in the vineyard.
Yeah.
In the vineyard.
Yeah.
And we had a guest on, our guest from Notre Vu that came on, and I still happen to have the sparkling rosé wine from Chalk Hill 2019 that I'm opening up for this episode. I should have savored it, as Lori commented earlier, but I didn't.
You know what's interesting, Eccles? I will say this. You had sparkling on the very first episode.
Mm-hmm.
And it was kava. It was like a $7 kava.
Freshenet? You had a freshenet?
And what's interesting was, I swear, I think even John said, whoa, sparkling on the first episode? Save that for the last. And you're like, I think I'm going to be a baller. And sure enough, Jeff Eccles went lower than $7. He brought on some free sparkling wine.
I couldn't saber it open. I don't have a saber. I do have a snake stick, but I don't know that it would do the job.
No, I've done it with a hockey skate.
Oh, I remember that. Did it ever recover?
I just had to sharpen it again. That's all.
And I don't know why, John, I'm blanking on what you had on the first episode. No, I know exactly what you had. John, you had the Green Flash double stout, or double coffee stout or something like that. And there, I don't know if everybody in the chat knows, there used to be a fourth member. Jim Myers was drinking from his own keg of Bristol Winter Warlock oatmeal stout. So there you go. And I was having some Sierra Nevada hoppy lager.
The days of Jim and the keg when he'd be drinking the same beer for 6
Hey,
episodes.
I'm still drinking Lagunitas IPA. It's been 6 weeks, Jim. What else you got? Here, honey, take the.
All right. It wouldn't be an episode of We Like Drinking if we didn't play our favorite game.
Wine, beer, spirit, or pop culture reference. This is where I'm going to give our panel and those of y'all watching, as you should have done, every Tuesday night around 7:30ish Pacific at WeLikeDrinking.com/show episode
It doesn't
TV.
matter.
Or on YouTube. They're gonna leave their comments there as well. I'm gonna ask my distinguished panelists to switch off the comments so they can't see when JVB probably gets it right. The term this week, and they have to tell us, is it a wine term, a beer term, a spirit term, or some sort of pop culture reference? All y'all watching live, please drop what you think this is in the chat. The term this week is Oleaceae. Is Oleaceae a wine term, a beer term, a spirit term, or some sort of pop culture reference? Jeff Eccles.
Really? You're going to
Yeah.
go with me? You should go with John first on this one.
Oh, wow. Johnny.
Yeah. Only ACA. That isn't that what a butter-ador says when a big stick of butter comes charging at him in like a like in a stadium, and he waves a red flag and waves it back, and the butter stick goes by, and he goes, "Only ACA."
God, he's like dodging Olean chips.
Yeah.
Aren't you gonna ask how to spell it?
I hope so.
How the fuck do you spell that, Solomon?
Only ACA. OLEACEAE.
Oh.
Oh. Can I change my answer now that I know how it's spelled?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, sure. I didn't think your first answer was serious. A guy dodging butter?
He's waving it by with his red flag and maybe stabbing it with a butter knife to kill it.
It's it's brutal, but it's so beautiful.
Only ACA. It sounds like
The stick of butter has like 3 butter knives at like different angles.
Only ACA. No, it's like olive ACA. It's like the species term for the olive Ridley sea turtle. Only ACA I think is that the type of, is it like the species name for olives? So is it a pop culture reference?
John Ruyak.
Did you see Solomon's face drop when you said that?
John
How the
Ruyak
fuck
says.
did John get this right?
John Ruyak says only ACA is the species name for olives and believes it's a pop culture reference. Jeff Eccles.
I was gonna say pop culture reference, but since John said it, I guess I won't. I'll have to go something else. I think this is a pop culture reference. There was that really famous singer. He eventually changed his name to more of like a symbol instead of like a name.
Prince.
And he did this movie, and in it there was this other band that was performing. It was like Morris Day.
Morris Day and the only ACA.
And they had this song where they kept saying, only ACA. And I think that's how the lyrics went. I think that's
What was that? Jug of love. Only
only ACA.
Wanna get to know you,
Only ACA. Only ACA. I think John got it, honestly. So I'll say that it's a spirit term, and it's some kind of flower used in let's say a botanical for making a spirit or something like that.
Like what kind of spirit would have botanicals, Jeff?
Like maybe a gin.
I don't
Let's just
even
say.
like gin. I don't even know where you're coming up with.
I
So
Maybe-
yeah,
maybe-
no.
I think Jeff's a big fan of gin blossoms, I believe.
Oh yeah. Hey, anywhere you go, I'll follow you. Yeah.
Almost 25 comments in the chat. I can't
Oh
wait to
no,
go
they're
see.
going crazy, and I can't keep track of all of them. What I will
all of
say
them?
is,
You can't keep track of all
yeah, I
of
can't
them?
keep track of all of them. What I do think is interesting is, so John Ruyak says it's a pop culture reference because it is a species of olive. And Jeff Eccles says, wait a second, what was your real answer? You said it was spirit because it's some sort of botanical that goes
Yeah.
in gin.
Yeah.
What I thought was so interesting was, JVB. I usually tell everybody to turn it off in the chat because he usually knows the answer and he gives it away. And after John Ruyak said that this was a pop culture reference because it's a species of olive, JVB goes, John's got it. He's right the fuck on, or spot the fuck on. Well, let me tell you, motherfuckers, you're all wrong. It's a wine term because
Did Lor-
Oleaceae
Did Lori
is
get it?
the family that holds Olea europaeo, which is the species of black olives. It's a wine term because it's a tasting note in this Merlot. You dumbasses. Oleaceae. It's a wine term.
Because I said so, said Jeff Solomon.
I'll take the quarter point.
The family, you dummies. I'm so smart. Oh my God, you know who's not smart? Jason Stubblefield of the One Bourbon, One Starter, One Beer podcast. He's actually paid money to see the Gin Blossoms 5 times.
5 times.
5 times. Jason's at a concert. I've heard about him. He gave us $50 at the state fair. That's how much it costs to see the Gin Blossoms, right?
50
$10
bucks?
a pop. $10 a pop at the state fair. Jason, did you follow him from one state to another during one summer?
Well, wait.
I didn't know there were gin blossom freaks like there's fish freaks.
Oh yeah, there's dudes hanging outside of the fucking like
outside the Motel 6 waiting for the gin blossoms to come out.
Some guys outside of the fucking Baton Rouge Fairgrounds for the Louisiana State Fair selling fucking whippets from his truck. Like, yeah, man, I've been following the Gin Blossoms. This is the biggest moneymaker I've ever had in my life.
Oh, Christ. With that, for our final plug.
I'm sorry, Stub goes, that's not the worst thing I've followed down. I'm here tonight, right? Thanks, asshole. I love you, Jason.
JVB's still hung up on you're using Oleaceae as a wine descriptor. He's like not happy about that. So,
hey, man. Hey, JVB.
It needs to be a thing now.
It's all about your perceptions, bro. Hey, dude. Don't tell me what I taste.
JVB, it's going to be trend setting. Now is the time. Everybody needs to be using Oleaceae. It'll send your blogs through the roof.
I'm really getting this like oleaceal note.
On the
you should have grabbed that video for our NFT.
The Kalamata varietal.
Little does everybody know that's the name of Jeff Solomon's next podcast.
The Kalamata varietal.
No, Oleaceae.
No, Kalamata varietal is the name of my new math rock band.
So, folks, if you're listening to this 5 years later, 2 years later, end of this week, and you're like, I need a way to reconnect with the We Like Drinking podcast. The best way you can do that is to go right now to welikedrinking.com/wine. Wait, that's dead by this point. Go to dracinawine.com. Go buy some wine. When you get to checkout, put in the code WLD. You're going to get 5% off your wine. 5% off. 5% of that wine is going to go to, well, by that point, me.
We're paying Eccles back for all his hard work.
And our good friend Lori at Dracaena Wines is going to be able to ship you out some delicious 90+ point rated 5-star from the We Like Drinking podcast Everybody in the chat that has had it loves this wine, and you can go get it for yourself. It's a win-win, win-win, double win for Jeff Eccles. If you go use code WLD at checkout to get yourself some fantastic wine. Lori, let us know if you're going to turn that off so we can let everybody know. As Chris
By the
said,
end of the show.
By the end of the show, everybody go buy Lori's wine. That's just what you should do. Okay.
No, man. For as long as this podcast exists on the internet, I think by law, Lori has to honor that.
I think so.
I think Lori just upped the suggested retail price of Dracaena wines by $5. We love you, Lori.
And Lori, thank you so much for believing in us enough to partner with us. It was really cool to see how many people went out and bought the wine, and that every single person that bought it that reached out to us were like, this is fucking really good wine. And, everybody loved it, which is just a testimony to what you produce and the hard work you put in. And we were so happy that you decided to partner with us during that you would allow our brand to be associated with your awesomeness. It really says something about your poor choices in life. I mean,
really, Dracaena Wines continues to dominate the wine world in spite of the We Like Drinking podcast.
That's right.
That's quite an albatross to throw off your back there, Lori.
Okay. I know why everybody really is here. One, because it's our last episode.
Oh, wait a minute. Two, I've got to go get something off the grill. I'm smoking some whale testicles out there.
Let me know at 36:38.
Eccles, quick, make some broken glass sounds. I was trying to coax him into taking his microphone and just bashing his wall behind him.
The real reason everybody is here is because, the world today is so full of bullshit, misinformation, fake news. There's really only a handful of places you can go to get the real deal. You can go to the AP, you can go to Reuters, or you can go to Booze News, where we discuss interesting, noteworthy, or 90% of the time, really stupid shit.
We're trying to amp it up to 90.03% by the end of the night.
All right, what should we start? Let's start interesting, and then we'll just
dive
let it fall off.
Degenerate from there.
From the Mercury News, coming straight out of California.
San Ho!
Governor Newsom signs a bill that allows for refilling wine bottles at wineries. This goes into effect January 1st, and this is a pretty cool thing, really done as a way for conservation, energy, waste fill, all the things to reduce, reuse, et cetera. But there was a law in the books where how these things always are weird. These laws are weird. But if a winery had a tasting room attached to the production facility, they could refill containers. And so a winemaker that didn't have a production facility said, WTF, why can't I refill if I don't have a production facility connected to my tasting room? And that started the ball rolling and got it through the houses and the senates and everything else. And Newsom has signed it now to where that any winery will now be able to refill wine bottles. The most likely scenario, it says in the article, is that wineries will start having branded reusable growlers like from the beloved craft beer industry, and that they could return to the winery and receive a sterile replacement filled with the wine of their choice. So that's essentially what it's coming down to. I think this is a fantastic idea.
Yeah.
So they're not actually refilling something that you bring back. They're taking possession of it and resanitizing it and give you a replacement.
That's what they're saying is the most likely scenario.
So
Yeah.
they're eliminating the the prospect of like weird fermentations by leaving behind spittle on the edge of your growler because you're knocking back that wine just like, going down the road. And
Well, and for sure, I'm certain like no one would be if they were just refilling people's own wine growlers. I have to believe that no one would ever be, no winery would ever be held liable for somebody else drinking of their own funk. But it's nice that they're replacing that. I will say, there's a part of me as you were talking about this, Jeff, where I was a little bit nonplussed, which means confused, everybody. I know a lot of you think it means something else, but I was nonplussed when you first started talking about that, because I've actually been to wineries in California before that do have a growler system. However, they must have already had like a production facility connected to it. So I do think it's nice that it's opening up for more people to be able to do this. There's also this part of me that wants to go, well, gee, it's not like Governor Gavin Newsom doesn't have his hand in the wine business. He's a part owner of Plump Jack in Napa. But I will also say that it's interesting how often, we give credit or blame to the executive of a state when obviously this was a bill that went through both houses of California before going up to Governor Gavin Newsom. But what I will say is I've actually really been, and we've been talking about this from the get-go of the pandemic, I've really been stoked on how a lot of states during this time have said, our alcohol laws are a little bit weird considering like how much there's been a demand for alcohol over this time, a demand for alcohol to go. And I'm glad that we are continuing that process, right? Hey, no problem, Scotty. I know you're from a different state. So I'm glad that we're kind of continuing in that process. And it is odd to me that they wouldn't allow, they would let some wineries do it, but some wineries not. Because shit, all you need really is a keg. You need a keg, and I would prefer one of those like water squirter thingies that we see at breweries. And I think we should all be good to go. Right?
Yeah, Solomon, since you've been there, I was curious reading this, like how this worked. Like, do they have kegs of all their wines there that they actually fill it with? Or is it like, oh, they've got rows of these things that you come in and you give them one and they're like, oh yeah, you want this one. Here it is already sealed, ready to go.
I'm pretty sure that the way that wineries would prefer to do it is, they sell one of those bottle that's got like, I don't know what I call it like a cider hanger, where it's like you've got like the metal cage attached to a rubber cork that kind of like hangs off the side.
The gross closure system.
Yeah,
for lack of a better term, right?
Yeah, they'll sell like a branded Grolsch closure, and it's usually they have creative names. They might call it like the Bunkhouse Red or something like that, And what I will also say is there's some wineries in my local area that do bring your bottle day and go back into the bottling room, and they will just straight up shit, man. they might just have a siphon hose going straight from a barrel like into people's bottles. And they're like, here's the cork closure, go ahead. And I've definitely seen shit like that before. And they're like, oh, you don't have empty bottles laying around? You can, for $5 more, we'll just fill one of our bottles for you, which that's a real money maker right there. If you can sell somebody a glass bottle for $5, you're good.
Because they only cost about 89 cents.
Oh yeah.
Part of me like since this is really cool. On the other hand, glass is one of the most easily recyclable products that we have. So think about what you're doing in reference to the environment if you're driving all the way back to the winery to refill it for something that's easily recyclable. So I mean,
John,
I think there's some trade-offs here.
Yeah, for
what
sure.
makes a larger carbon footprint, John? Driving back to your local winery or throwing a bottle into a recycling bin that goes to a transfer station that goes to some sort of warehouse where they get the little scrubbing bubble cartoon guys to scrub it down and then deliver it back to the exact same winery. What say you then, my good man?
That is true. That's going in bulk, so those things are arriving in bulk.
All right.
So
less cost per square mile. I dig it.
So I mean, there's trade-offs. But it's if you feel good about it, sure. Sanitizing it for the next person, it depends on how they're doing that. I mean, that's. I mean, we always when during the pandemic and we were refilling growlers, we were sanitizing their growler and rinsing it and refilling their growler. So it was going to take 2 or 3 minutes for them it wasn't going to be quick turnaround,
Totally random. And those of y'all listening to the audio only version won't get this. I'm pretty sure that Chris Kern took over the It's just, I don't know. The tone is totally different here. This sounds like a Yale graduate right here. I don't know. This is just weird.
You can read it if you want, Jeff.
I think you guys suck a lot and hate myself for being your friends and supporting your audio endeavor. That's a Kern line. I'm sorry. Someone had to say, whoa, Jeff, how are you doing? Jeff from Underground Cellars is in there. It really is. Yeah.
Yeah, this is it.
You want to drop a promo code in the chat right now?
All right. Anything else on refillable wine?
Yeah, go ahead and do it. And I think, if there's a little bit of red left in the bottom and you want to fill it with white, so what?
Yeah. That's how you make a rosé. That's what I'm talking about.
All right. This next one, we don't really need to read much of the article for this one, but who's a fan of Natty Light?
Hey, man. College self.
I haven't been to a baseball game in a long time.
Whoa. Hey, man. You obviously haven't been to a Giants game. If you ask for a Natty Light, they will throw your ass out.
Why?
Natty Light
anchor steam.
We're drinking Russian River at Pac Bell Oracle SBC AT&T Park.
Natty Light, known for cheap, shitty beer. Let's be honest. They're expanding their footprint quite a bit here. And they're getting into the vodka game. And they're introducing flavored vodka. Starting off with 3 flavors. I think there's strawberry lemonade, raspberry lemonade, and maybe like some kind of blue raspberry or black raspberry or something. I don't even know.
Oh, like blue crack. We're going to call it blue crack. I mean, come on.
the article talks about how, they're keeping their eye on the trends in the drinking world, and Natty Light is the perfect vehicle and brand to introduce this crisp and clean flavored vodka. So, I don't know.
If Natty Light wants to think they're like a trend center, I think they should look back to Olympia vodka that we had on the show a year ago.
That is the shit, by the way.
That's if there, and I said this on that podcast, on that particular episode, if there's any such thing as a sipping vodka, that stuff is it.
It was
Cara
really,
Michelle
really good.
Bender Solomon took that shit to the house within days after that episode. We were out of olives. The cupboard was bare. That was some amazing vodka. What I will say is, I'm pretty sure Rhett, based on what he was saying he was drinking earlier, is super stoked on this Natty Light vodka. I don't know if I can abide. I mean, how do you, for reals? And I know that like trends ebb and flow, but I mean, we've talked a lot about like adjuncts in beer and like flavored beer, and sometimes it's something we're really into, and sometimes it's like, whoa, what the fuck is this? I mean, how are we feeling about flavored vodka these days? Like, in general, like, are you a fan? Does it depend on the flavor?
First, I have to say, hey, Chelsea, thank you for joining us.
Hey, Chelsea.
Hey!
Come and visit me again in Albuquerque.
All right, John, go ahead with your thoughts.
Well, I mean, we were talking before the show about potato chips, and what do you think about spicy pickle vodka?
Oh, I'm down with that.
I mean,
I had some pickle chips
stick a
earlier.
pickle
These
in
are-
anything,
these are
and I'm down.
barbecue chips. So
Right. So, there are certain martinis that you just have to have in a flavored sense to make them work. And I can't think if there was I think it's called the Scarlet Letter, and it's cranberry vodka or something like that. Cranberry and vanilla vodka and some cranberry juice. I mean, there's certain, and some of them work. So I'm not opposed to flavored vodkas. I think they have their place, but to me, it's like pastry stouts, right? How far do you go? I mean, do you want a maple bacon donut vodka? I mean, I guess some people do.
I mean, I know there's marshmallow or toasted marshmallow flavored vodkas.
S'mores.
So, and I looked, it's lemonade, strawberry lemonade, and black cherry are what they're launching with.
black cherry. That's a shit flavor for a vodka.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, everybody. Like when you're going with like fake flavor, especially on like a lighter spirit, citrus. I don't know how people like get that so wrong. Like citrus. Same thing with like hard seltzers. Don't get a black cherry hard seltzer and expect that it's going to be palatable.
Or
Citrus.
watermelon.
Mega
or-
purple.
Oh my God.
But with vodka too, like a
Mega
spice
purple.
one, I think a spice one is good too.
Like there's a black pepper. There's black pepper vodka, right?
Yeah. I'm down with that. That's cool. I just think, in general, I will say this, like the flavored vodkas in general, it's kind of like the flavored coffees of the world. Like the person who goes to Starbucks and it's like, I need 7 pumps of fucking creme de menthe or
Hazelnut.
whatever the fuck. Like, fuck you. I will the day when how everybody goes, wait, fuck you, I will. That didn't sound right. The day that how everybody says like, oh, I'm going to start a coffee shop one day. The day that I start my coffee shop, no pumpy flavors. No pumpy flavors. We serve coffee one way, black. Oh, do you have any cream? There's a Safeway down the street, asshole. There's a Safeway down the street.
So yeah, like one of the interesting things that I saw in this is surprising. This is if you weren't aware, Natty Light is an Anheuser-Busch product, and Natty Vodka also, it is Natty Vodka, by the way. That's the name of it.
It's legitimately called Natty Vodka.
Yeah. This is the first ever spirit extension from Anheuser-Busch, which I found interesting. But one of them, some spokesman for it, said flavored vodka is one of the fastest growing segments in spirits, and we knew Natty was the brand to show up to the party with a great tasting offer to set us apart.
Where have these people been for the last decade?
10 fucking years.
You know, like I don't know if you see it. Let me give you
Absolute Pepper was a thing. Abcitrone was a thing. Yeah. Like this stuff has been there for 20 years.
Yeah. Let me just hip you to some California civics. There's a big there's a big push to get you can't buy flavored vapes in California, which is fantastic. I mean, it did shit for my comedy career when they took flavored vapes off the market. But
come on,
but
you
now
you gotta give us your term. Gotta throw it out.
Banana flavored vape juice. That's how you get laughs automatically at any comedy club. But here's the thing. In California now there is a push, which I support, to get rid of menthol flavored cigarettes, right? And the whole thing behind all this is flavors hook children, right? And for reals, who do you think's buying cotton candy flavored vodka? A grown-up? You think a fucking grown man walks into a liquor store and goes, yeah, I really like some cotton candy flavored vodka.
Straight from the gym on his Harley.
I hate myself. Cotton candy flavored vodka, please.
Yeah. I don't know.
Children buy that shit. All I'm saying is, yes, this is a show about drinking. We are complicit. We are complicit in this. But I also feel like we need to take a stand. Fucking cotton candy flavored vodka? Get the fuck out of here. There is absolutely no need. And I will put it this way. Knowing about olives as I do, I will tell you, I am also not a fan of fucking flavored olive oil. And the worst culprit is garlic flavored olive oil. That shit sells like hotcakes. You see it at any olive oil shop, at any winery that sells olive oil, they will have garlic flavored olive oil. If you like garlic in your olive oil, you fucking lazy fuck, how about you cut up some garlic? How about you do that? Oh, well, I use it for cooking. Yeah. You don't have garlic on hand? Get the fuck out of here. Don't listen to our show.
I will call you on that. I will call you on that. Flavored olive oil. Il Vicino, which was the parent company to Canteen Brewery, which are friends of ours up the road. They're a cool brewery. They make a spicy red pepper olive oil, and they soak red peppers in. They make it themselves, and they soak red chilies from New Mexico in their olive oil for months, and they serve it with their pizza in little tiny cups, and you can buy it by the quart, and that shit's the bomb.
I love that we went from natty vodka to this deep discussion about flavored olive oil.
Well,
Jeff Solomon, your
I will
rebuttal.
say this. My rebuttal is here's the thing. The one exception is, do you own a pizza place? Do you own a pizza place where, as a condiment, you have ready to go drizzled olive oil? In that scenario, in that one scenario, I will allow it. Because if I go into a pizzeria and they don't have the spicy oil, then I will walk the fuck out. But that is the only time that that's acceptable. And yet, if you get a pizza and you say, you know what? This doesn't have enough garlic flavor.
You're at the wrong.
You're at the wrong pizzeria.
You're at the wrong pizza.
I gotta say,
wrong pizzeria.
Jeff
But a
Solomon.
good spicy oil at a pizzeria.
Jeff
I'm down with
Solomon.
that, yeah.
The chat's kind of, I think they're coming for you tonight.
Oh, they
Rhett-
are? Like I give a shit?
Rhett says, I honestly
I
have
don't read your comments, you dummies.
Rhett
Why are you
says
even watching?
Shush. Or
What
I'll
are you gonna
mute
do?
you.
Cancel us?
Rhett says, I honestly have some garlic mead. I'll show myself out.
No,
Dennis
hey,
Royd,
garlic
Dennis Royd-
mead. Hey, you do you. That's I would actually try that. Rhett, if there is ever a wine media conference in the Santa Clara Valley, I will go. And when that happens, bring some garlic mead.
Dennis Royd says, and ranch for pizza.
He must have been in Albuquerque, because Dion's here in Albuquerque is famous for starting the whole ranch with pizza.
Oh, we're aware on this show. Let me say this again. If your pizzeria's claim to fame is that you can dip your pizza in ranch, you're a shitty pizzeria.
Okay, I got one more.
Okay, let's go for
It's a
it.
quick one. If you are,
Is it quick?
yeah, well, no,
with us it's not.
not tonight, not tonight. This is in
This old
Auburn.
Rasputin's Russian Imperial Stout is fantastic.
It is so
Of
good.
course it is.
Oh my god.
If you're in Auburn, Maine, I think we have a lot of listeners in Auburn, Maine. When is this? This is coming up Saturday, October 16th. This Saturday. Join them for the Bad Beer Bash. This is where you can go spend money. You can pay $15 per person or $8 for Mug Club members. And they have gone out and found the 10 absolute worst beers that they could possibly find. And for $15, you can taste all 15 of these shitty beers. And then when you're done, they'll give you one good one. And then you have to rank which of the worst is the best. The best of the worst.
Oh, wow.
The worst of the best. Worst.
Which brewery is this?
I don't think it's a brewery. It's the Craft Brew Underground.
The Craft Brew Underground where?
In Auburn, Maine.
In Auburn, Maine. I'm just taking notes now because I need to remind everybody. I am a mandated reporter, and I do feel like this.
I need to pay some Pepto-Bismol for my pizzeria.
It's something that I really feel like I'm not saying like I'm not a judge here, but I think it's something that needs to be investigated. Like you're gonna charge people to give them the worst beers on the planet. Like how bad could they be? Like are we talking?
They can be pretty bad.
Are we talking pizza beer?
It could be pretty bad.
They can be pretty bad, dude. So, I mean, I never tasted it, but think about that mustard beer who put that out? Was that
That was Odell's, I think.
that was Odell's, right?
It was Odell's that did the French's
was it-
mustard collab.
Or was it Oscar Blues?
Or was it? I thought it was
It was
Oscar
Oscar
Blues.
Blues.
It was
and
Oscar
Blues.
Blues.
Oscar
Okay,
Blues.
so what's the worst beer you've ever had? I'll go first. There was and 15 years ago, I'm just like blasting through the import section at liquor stores, and I picked up a 7-ounce bottle of Adelscott, which was a strong Scotch ale from a brewery in Luxembourg that comes in a clear bottle. So
Ooh.
God knows how long it's been sitting in fluorescent light, right? And there's only 3 bottles of beer that I never finished, and I can't remember. And one of them was recently, and I won't say who it was because I don't remember. One of them was Zingu black beer from Brazil that tastes like they dredged the Amazon. And the other was Adelscott. I couldn't finish a 7-ounce bottle of that stuff.
Yeah. I had, what the fuck was it called? I found it was like a top shelf 6-pack of bottles, like that had a 1/4 inch of dust on them. It was called like Iron Horse or something like that.
I know that beer.
It was out of Chicago, I want to say. It was
Well, it was an
horrible.
old ass. Like, let's not disparage Iron Horse.
No. The age helped this one. I have a strong suspicion. And going to the Great American Beer Festival, there's been some horrible
Yeah, I'm
beers.
not sure how some people pour some of that stuff at the GBAF.
My buddy Scotty Laser spent some time in Russia, like freshly like post-communist Russia, and he's got something unpronounceable that apparently sucks balls. So there's that.
Oh, you remember this? I was in Costa Rica, and we would go to
God, not the bull story.
No, not the bull story.
You're trying to drag out the last
I can
show,
tell that
right?
again if you'd like. No, we would occasionally we'd go to the Costa Rican equivalent of Costco.
Right.
And they would have pallets of Russian beer where you could buy a 16-ouncer for like 74 cents. And I'm like, why not?
What was the story we were talking about where it was counterfeit Bud in China, where they were like cracking open the cans and pouring them in a bucket and then filling it with something else? Was that what was happening?
It's like
That was like
it's so
episode
crazy 'cause
3.
The profit margins are like, what? How much of this counterfeit Budweiser do you have to sell to actually make money?
So yeah, Jeff, I think there's a lot of shitty options out there.
Yeah, there was.
All right.
Oh my
there
goodness.
are.
Stub/Kern doesn't even know that John Ruyak used to started the first craft brewery ever in Costa Rica.
Get
No,
with
the
it,
third- the
Stern.
Quit
third-
listening to the show, bro.
Get with it, Stern.
Stern. Oh, Stubkern.
All right. Oh shit.
Worst beer ever. Worst beer ever. I think it's more about situations for me.
Yeah.
I remember one time I was gonna run the beer mile, and I legitimately went to a tap house
Yes.
owned by a running shop,
Yes, you did.
and I said, just asking, just some tips. Have any of you ever run a beer mile? They go, oh yeah, we do it every year.
Yeah.
As you know, I'm going to be in a beer mile sometime soon. I was wondering, like, is there a preferred beer or preferred method or anything like that? And they go, you know what the key is? Whatever beer you choose, room temperature. Really? He goes, yeah, room temperature. Just flows right down, right down the
Here's
esophagus.
my question, Jeff.
Yeah.
After you've had these years to ponder not only your epic loss in that beer mile, but also that advice you got.
Oh, yeah.
How many seconds do you think after the door closed that they all erupted in laughter, saying, I wish I could be there when he drinks that room temperature
You know
bullshit.
what's crazy? You know what's crazy is I like to think better of people than that. And I'd like to think that he actually never ran a beer mile and he thought that he was giving some good advice. Like, I was like, oh, wow, bro. And I gave him a good tip and everything. But that one dude, fuck that one dude. I haven't seen him at that place in a while. I'm pretty sure he got fired after he tuned in live to our fucking vomit fest when we did a beer mile.
Detonator Shroid said, I had a double IPA on an old Chicago mini tour that tasted like skunk perfume. I had to have half a bottle of whiskey to get rid of the taste. I swear, old Chicago had a knack for pulling in some god awful.
Yeah,
beer. Especially those mini tours. Those mini tours were like, buy 10 of these and you'll give you this one for free. That was just some hot garbage.
Let me ask you something.
Oh, they had to do something to
Eccles
distract you from knowing that your food was
having known
right.
you for this long. You're from Iowa.
I am.
Iowa's pretty close to Illinois.
It is.
How close to Chicago did you live?
3.5 hours.
My God. My God. I think it's weird living in like the greatest, like largest state of all time. Like it's very rare for me to like travel to another state to go to a big city, but was that the closest like biggest city to you?
Yeah, for sure.
So like whenever you went to the city, you were going to Chicago?
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
So if you grew up in Santa Rita, New Mexico.
Santa Rita, is that a place?
Ralph Kiner was born there. The closest big city is Albuquerque.
I can't believe I've reached the point where I'm going to call the final.
Last call!
It's the last call. Probably not like any other last call we've had because
don't follow us.
There's not shit for us to tell you to do. But John Ruyak, if the folks want for some reason when they're listening to this in 2025, follow us on to still connect with us, how can they do so?
Well, you might catch up with us on the tavern, which is WeLikeDrinking.com/tavern.
No, that's dead.
Yeah, WeLikeDrinking.com's going away, but on Facebook.
On Facebook, Facebook, the tavern,
Join the tavern.
That's where we'll be.
That's right.
You know,
I'm going to sell my own shirts.
I'm going to make the dive back into social media.
I'm going to sell my own shirts on the tavern, and I just want everybody to know money goes directly to me.
Everybody in the chat right now, I love you. Like
a picture of my face on your chest, staring at you when you look in the mirror like this.
if you're if you're listening to the show and you're like, this can't be the end, how will I be able to follow these guys? I love these guys. I loved hearing their voices. I want to be able to follow them when the show is done. Don't worry. Everybody is kicking off their own venture as soon as this show ends.
If you like camping and snakes, then yeah.
Be sure to follow the new podcast, I've Got a Story by 3 Beer John. John Ruyak will drink 3 beers, and then he's going to tell you a story. The show may be 5 minutes to 5 hours. You won't know until you tune in. So follow I've Got a Story by 3 Beer John. If that's not your cup of tea, you may want to listen to Look, I've Got Something to Say by Non-Fungible Jeff. This is Jeff Solomon's new show where he's going to talk about whatever the fuck he wants. There may be a topic. He's going to go on a rant about something. He's going to talk about NFTs, front side grinds, and whatever's mashing his gears that week. So make sure to check out Look, I've Got Something to Say by Non-Fungible Jeff. And if you're looking to hear more of me, fuck off. I'm not hosting shit. Bye, bitches. Anything else, guys?
I love that I only do front side grinds. I'll do a backside 5-0 occasion.
Chelsea wants to know if Solomon's opening up a record store.
No, I after I leave record stores, what happens is platforms die and they go out of business. That's what usually happens to record stores. I will say this: support Streetlight Records in San Jose. They are fantastic folks. That's for sure.
Lori wants to know if her WLD shirt is official a retro shirt now.
Oh yeah,
totally.
Oh dude.
Wore it to work today.
Stern is saying that Ruyak is starting the Old Man Yells at Cloud podcast.
Yeah.
And everybody apparently is looking forward to the I'm Not Hosting Shit podcast. All right, fellas. I can't believe it. We didn't make it 7 years. That's hard to believe, but I can't believe we reached the time of the show for the last time where I'm going to say, okay, panel, let's take one last trip, one final trip around this table and get some thoughts before we shut off the lights forever. John Ruyak.
Yeah, this is going to take longer than it normally does. And it should. No. Fuck that. It should. And
hey, fuck you, John.
It's not going to be a cow story, and I'm not going to cry, I think.
I might.
So just know, folks, my grandson says, okay, that's Papa and the Jeffs, right? And he knows.
At least we're on your nipples.
Yeah, there you go. And they're hard right now.
I was gonna mute myself for the whole story, but as soon as you
we can't do that.
I got excited.
Yeah. So yeah, I wore this to work today on purpose. And it's been on my mind all day. And I'm sad, but I'm not. And just so you guys know, we have a social media thing called GroupMe, and we talk throughout the week, and that's not going to stop. And it might not be quite as often, but 7 years is a long time. A lot of friendships don't last 7 years, and that's sociological science. We have arguments, folks. After the show, we're friends and we're drinking and we talk about some heavy shit. And we argue and we piss each other off, and we think about it for a day, and then we apologize and we move on because we love each other. And we love you guys, but we don't love you guys as much as we love each other. And that's and I'm we could have strung this out for a lot longer, and we all knew that we didn't want to do that because we care about you, the listener, more than that. I think we all deep down inside realized that the value of what we were doing was starting to diminish. And we didn't want to be the guy who's just stringing it out for 3,000 hits, We've had some accomplishments. And so I'm sad, but I'm happy. It's not something we're going to get together with every week, but we're going to still talk to each other, on our app and stuff like that. So so you guys shouldn't worry that we're all going our own separate ways, because we are, but we're not. We've got this connection, and shit, we won Best Podcast 2 years in a row in the arts category. That's cool as fuck. You guys helped us. You guys helped us with that, and I'm happy because there's other things I want to do with my Tuesday nights that I haven't been able to do. But then again, next Tuesday I'm gonna be like, oh shit, we're not doing a show.
I think next Tuesday is when it's really gonna sink in that it's really done. I don't think it's gonna sink in tomorrow. I think it's gonna sink in next Tuesday.
Next Tuesday.
Jeff Solomon.
Oh, I don't know what to say. I love you guys, and this is a fantastic show, and I say this not for speaking to like the experiences of anybody else, but the experiences among the three of us. I think Ruyak said it right, that we are, we become really great friends, and I think on some level we become even closer than that, and that we have this, my goodness, the show that happens after the show. If y'all only knew, that would be an amazing show. But it's a special time, and that's the part that I think I might miss more than anything else. I just wanted to say that I love y'all. I love you, John. I love you, Jeff. The fucking listeners. Fuck you guys. But yeah, I'm just really happy that we have this, right? And what I would always say is like I just think about like bigger picture in terms of like, I don't know how many folks have some sort of like piece of themselves that they leave for the world to experience, and that means a lot to me, that and really I'll give this to you, Eccles, that like you gave John and I this opportunity to leave a piece of ourselves out for the world, to be vulnerable, and to really just I don't know, just leave something to be remembered. There's some shit on this show I wish was forgotten forever, but certainly,
But
I always want to have something out there for everybody to be able to look at and to think of, and I'm glad that it's there, and I'm glad that we collectively have been doing this together for so long. And I can't leave Jim Myers out. We love you, bud. And I really appreciate you being out here, helping us with this, because I don't know how long I would have been here to begin with if Jim wasn't on the show, because we became fast friends while he was here as well. And I just wanted to say thanks to everybody, because it's great.
Yeah, we're going to give Eccles the last word because he deserves it. But there's 3 people that helped make this all happen, and that's our wives. So, they've put up with a lot of stuff. oh my God, a lot of stuff. Talking late into the night and snoring after I've had too much wine, and just putting up with the schedule. And so for Marcy and Kara and my wife Sharon, we can't thank them enough. And they don't come on camera, but they've been a part of the show the entire time.
Yep.
And they've been supportive. And the voice of our show, in Marcy's case, just killer voice. She should do voiceover. She needs to contact a radio station or something, dude. Whatever.
I mean, I feel like I need to do some.
Well, do that in California. She can do that in Colorado Springs.
I'm here to leave fucking stingers for people still. If you want to hire me to go,
whatever.
yeah.
But those ladies need a big round of applause from us for all these years of putting up with this crap. So thank you, ladies. Thank you. Eccles, it's yours.
And everybody in the chat right now, thank you for all the words you're putting in here. I'm laughing a lot. I'm tearing up a lot. I appreciate everything you're putting in here. The Drunken Cyclist has joined us.
Hey, Jeff Kralik, what's
holy
up?
Shit.
Where the fuck have you been?
And the first thing he says is that Eccles looks really old. Great to see you, Jeff. Great to have you here.
I don't mean to brag. I had a student today guess that I was 39 years old, and I got very happy.
You guys have great sentiments. It has. I mean, the reason the show has worked. I'll put in air quotes if it's worked. Is the relationship the 3 of us have developed over the years. But shout out to all the guests that we've had join us on the show and send us their products and take time to come talk to us. We've just met some really interesting and just some amazing people over the course of this. We've got to meet so many of you in the chat. We meet so many people in the chat. The 3 of us have never been in a room together. I mean, that's if there's one regret I have from all of this, is that we were never able to actually get together. Screw
that doesn't
you,
mean
COVID.
It won't happen. It just
Hey, I've got all this Riesling that's guaranteeing that it's happening next summer 2025.
Stern says Jeff is an ass in the best of all possible ways. I don't know which one of us he's talking about. I don't know if he's talking about right nipple Jeff or left nipple Jeff.
I think he's talking about, and as far as there's only one way, it's that you can carry a lot of shit from one place to another.
This has been so much fun, you guys. I can't tell you how many times from each of us I could say that we joined up on a Tuesday, that one of us joined up on a Tuesday just in not a good mood, not in a good place. And by the end of the show, there was this sigh of relief. It was like, I fucking needed this so bad, you guys. I can't tell you how much. This was almost like therapy for us some weeks. We've learned a lot about booze. We've drank a lot of booze. We've met some amazing people. JVB, Jeff in Florida, You know, all the folks that have reached out over the last week or so, giving us words of encouragement, thanking us for what we've done, checking in to make sure everything's okay. We really appreciate and love all of you guys and all of you people. Shut up, Kralik. You're such an asshole. So I think that's really all I've got to say. This is going to be the longest edit of audio to try to fit music in this.
Unedited. What are you trying to fit in?
Yeah. I think that's really all I got to say. Thank you to every single person that has ever listened to an episode of our show. It's meant the world to us. John, you look like you're going to chime in.
No, you got the last word, dude. You are the man.
All right. So, thank you everybody that's ever listened to an episode, joined us in the chat, read our shit, whatever. We appreciate you and love you all. To the end of days, everybody's talking about me in the chat. I can't even look at it right now. So what I'm going to say is we've reached the time of the show where I get to say, thanks again for joining us for all the episodes we've done of the We Like Drinking podcast. But now, unfortunately, you're all going to have to drink alone.
Oh, I like that pivot, brah.
You like that?
It was tight. Before we close it out, can we just read some of these like final comments out loud? I think that's like super cool. Let me let's scroll up to here, and I'm sorry if I like missed some of y'all. Thanks for the guacamole recipe. All right.
Yeah. Craig said I look really old. Fuck you, Jeff Solomon, and your hair is to die for.
Oh, well, that's true.
DIY.
Ryan Hannigan of
Focus on the Beer.
Well, and focus on snacks, right? I'm liking the shows that you're doing now too. We should all bitch and moan on Zoom each Tuesday about our fantasy teams for those who are in the league, and the league will still go on in perpetuity, as will the tavern.
My team ended this past week. Two IRs from two of my top three players.
You lost Russ?
Russ and Barkley and somebody else too, I think.
Barkley will be back soon. And Russ, my God. So I have him in a league where I actually have a lot of money in it. I was really, really upset, dude. That was not cool.
All right. Other quotes you want to read?
My hair is to die for. That's very important. The
Hannigan's already looking for our reunion show.
Yeah, the reunion Riesling show. Glad to see Jeff Kralik's tearing up. That guy's not emotional enough. You guys rock. Thanks for all the fun. Thank you, Stub and/or Kern. Chelsea, I love laughing on road trips. I love feeling like I had company and games during my unemployment lockdown. I love being your Albuquerque to Colorado Springs mule. Thanks for all the fun. I think you just broke some federal laws there, Chelsea. I'm sorry about that. Just Nurse Nazoid. I know a number of those shitty Tuesdays from the meetings during the day. Oh, you're bringing that shit to work, Eccles? There we go.
Yeah.
Now what does Rhett do on a Tuesday night? My wife watches Little Women Atlanta on Tuesday nights. That's what she usually does. I'm still calling roll whenever I want. Thanks for being such fun. Kristen, thank you so much. And roll calls, I swear to you, they will not die. They're gonna get
they'll be back. They'll be
Laura, thank you so much. We'll still be. I need to come.
Thank you. Laura's been a diehard for a while now.
Laura, you've been killing it, and you live too close to me for me to not like come say hi.
Hey, everybody, I'm going to keep this in the show. Jeff Kralik in Houston, Texas, is offering an open invitation to anybody listening, anybody watching, or anybody on the panel to visit his home and open his cellar up.
There's some cool snakes in Houston. I can
Jeff,
show up there.
I'm gonna fly into George H.W. Bush Airport right now. Really just to look at the statue at the airport, and then I'm gonna leave.
It's Houston Hobby. It's Houston Hobby's the better one. That's where Southwest flies into.
Southwest, with all their pilots not being around or something. Let's see here. Stub, I will remember the podcast fondly, but I will always look forward to dominating the middle of the We Like Drinking Fantasy Football League. There you go. We can turn that to the one bourbon, one shard, one beer podcast fantasy football league if you want to. You know, if you get like 16 listeners, we should do that. That'd be cool. Let's see here. Yeah, Laura, Promised Land would be a great place to meet up. If you see me, say hi. I'm really bad with. I swear to you, like, here's an anomaly, right? Almost all my students, this is how I know them. Like this, right? And I swear to you, a student came up to me the other day and said this. Hey, Mr. Solomon, were you at Gilroy Gardens the other day? And I was like, yes, I was. And she goes, I was pretty sure I saw you, but then again, I wasn't sure because I've only seen you with your mask on and I don't really know what your face looks like. And I swear to you, like, that's the trippy thing. Let's get bigger picture and leave this in the feed because this is some fantastic psychological shit. When you close one eye, right, you don't see the other side of the room, but your mind finds a way to make everything normal, right? Where it's not really like that odd. Just like, remember before HD television, when people would be like, oh, I got an HD TV, and you'd be like, okay, so what's the big deal, right? Like, you're like, it's a TV. It doesn't look that much different. And then now that you have an HD TV, if you see something in standard definition, you go, what the fuck is that?
Are you
right?
playing Atari 2600 on the
Your
Exactly.
brain fills in that negative space, right? But when you start with negative space and you take it away, like, no shit, I will see the bottom half of my students' faces sometimes, and I've got 170 every single year, and I go, who the fuck is this person? I have no goddamn clue. It's a really weird experience. And so what I'm saying to you, backtracking, Laura, is my perception of people's faces is fucked up right now. And I'm certain that you've seen my face more than I've seen yours. If you see me, please just come don't even say hi, just come give me a hug and then apologize afterwards. But yeah, please come say hi if I bump into you. Let's see here.
No.
What?
I think it's time for us to let the audience go and let us do our post.
Kralik said, is anyone still listening to Solomon? And Love said no.
Nah.
All right. Everybody watching, thank you all so much.
We love you.
We love you guys. Thank you all so much through the pandemic for starting to watch our show and everything else. It's been great. Yeah, we love y'all.
Bye, everybody.
See you, folks.